It's the age-old question. How do I make my photos better, especially on a mobile platform? Well, there's different ways you can do it. It's not very hard, and I'm going to show you how coming up. Hey everyone, this is Jay from Mobile Pixel, helping you ignite your mobile creativity. Hey, one thing that I see a lot on the internet, and sometimes people ask me, they say, look, how can I make my mobile photography better? What are some of the things I can do to make it better? And it's a broad question. It's one that has lots of different answers. A lot of it relies on, your conditions that you're shooting in, what kind of vision you have for the photo that you've taken. Sometimes the photos are taken in the spur of the moment, and it looks, and something that turns out to be pretty cool, and then you just want to kind of make it even better. When you're doing this, of course, you may be faced with the people who are going to sit there, the snobs, as we refer to them, the ones that say, well, if you don't have a very good photo straight out of the camera, then there's really not much that you can do to make it better. That's complete nonsense. Look, there are bad photos, and yes, certainly you can't do what they call polish a turd. If a photo is bad, but if a photo is good, there's always ways of making it better. That's the whole point of editing. If you've seen Ansel Adams' work, Ansel Adams is one of the greatest photographers of all time, taking some beautiful landscape portraits and beautiful landscape photos in black and white. Do you think he just snapped that with his view camera and just threw it out into went and developed the film and then developed the photo and said, boom, here I go, I got it right out of the camera? No. He developed the film in a certain way, and then he developed the images in a particular way, and he dodged and he burned and he overexposed in one area and underexposed in another area. Did all these little tricks and things that he did with his enlarger and with the chemicals that he used to produce the images that you see in books, in posters, everywhere else. It wasn't straight out of the camera. So you can sit there and do the same thing with the photos that you take. And you can do it with just a few apps. That's what's the great thing about it. You don't need to spend a ton of money. You don't need to take a long time to do something. And I'm going to show you that right here. So what you can see here on the screen is a photo that I took. This is something that I did. This is an accident photos. Sometimes they're the best. This was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we were driving and we were heading to a place. And it turns out about 10 minutes later, after this picture was taken, we realized we were going in the wrong direction the entire time. We had to turn around and go back. But we started driving through this tunnel. I wasn't driving, so I was able to kind of like do the thing where I stuck my hand out the window and took this photo inside this tunnel. And it's a pretty cool photo, just the way it is. It's got that motion you can see there on the right-hand side, and, you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel with the other car going through, and there's kind of a glow with the lights that was created by the movement. I actually like this kind of photo, but can we make it better? Absolutely. So the first thing that I've done is I brought up an app called Lens Distortions. I don't know if they have this for Android. Again, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm an iPhone user. You can find it in the App Store. I'm sure that they have something similar for Android. If they don't have this for Android, and they may. I'm sorry, I didn't check before I did this. Maybe I should have, but I don't know if it's available for Android, but it is available in the App Store for the iPhone. So it comes with these like filters that you can use. So you have like this principal light hits and light hits. You have fog, shimmer, legacy ones. These are more kind of like, just kind of like the cinematic kind of glow that you might see from a light. And then you have these light hits, like, this big orange one here you could use in a sunrise or sunset photo to kind of enhance that. So, and going back to the picture here, I like the whole idea of the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing, but I want to make it look even a little bit more mysterious, as if instead of necessarily seeing light at the end of the tunnel, making it look as though maybe there's something coming towards us. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the light hits, and I'm going to apply one of them. Okay, and then it kind of just throws it there, and you have to kind of move it around. That's a great thing. You can just kind of move this wherever you want, and I'm going to kind of put it right there where the tunnel is. Now, I think this is a little bit too harsh, so you can take the opacity down of these. It's got these little options here, which are really cool. And I want to get it to a point where it's not too bright, where it's here, but also to where, you know, that car that's in the distance there is barely visible. So right about there. That looks good. Okay. So now we've taken the opacity down. We have this glowing light that's kind of coming and looking at us. So it's already starting to look better. There's other things you can do. We can change the brightness, kind of make that even brighter, although I think it's bright enough the way it is. Contrast, saturation, the color, softness, you can kind of flip it horizontally. That doesn't really make much sense with this particular one, but you can do all these different things. This is a white light, so the color really doesn't matter too much. There's a little bit of purple that you can see there that I think probably came from the original lights that are in the tunnel. So we're done with that one. Now, the great thing I love about this app is that you can add more than one. Now, if I go and I just pick another one, it's just going to replace what we just did. So what we want to do is we want to go over to the left here and click Add Layer. Now I can pick another effect. And so to make this even a little bit more mysterious, why don't we add some fog? Let's throw some fog in there. Now look at that. Now, on this one, I think obviously it's a little bit overdone. So we're going to take the opacity down on that. We can kind of move the fog a little bit. In fact, we can almost go down to where, just so we have it there slightly. So if we go all the way up, it's like you're losing detail in the photo. So we want to go down just to kind of there. Now we have an even more mysterious kind of look to this image. And I think this is good, but I still think that we can make it better. And that's where we're going to switch apps. So we're going to take this photo. So what we're going to do is go ahead and you can save this. So we'll save that image. Okay, there we go. Have it saved. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over into one of my favorite apps that I've talked about a lot, Snapseed, and we're going to make some adjustments over there and finish up. Okay, so now we have the photo that we fixed a little bit in lens distortions, now open in Snapseed, and we're going to make some other changes here. So I've done a video about how to use curves in Snapseed, and I'll provide a link over here that you can go, and if you haven't seen that, you can go check out how to do the curves tool. So we're going to go to that because I want to add some contrast to this image. The fog has kind of taken a little bit of that away. And, there's a couple things you can do. We could do the, let's take a look. Hard contrast. I don't really like it. I don't really like that one too much. I don't want it bright. How about we darken it? See, now I like that. See that there's still that fogginess there, but by taking that contrast down, getting it a little bit in that darker spectrum, we now have a darker image. And so this looks a lot better. So we'll go ahead and we will check mark that. Now, last thing I want to do, remember, see, this is only taking, what is this taking? Less than 10 minutes. That's what's so great about this. I think this photo would be even better if it was in black and white. So let's go to the black and white filters. Now, Snapseed has some really cool ones. And so here's your neutral one. Kind of boring. Here's one with some contrast. Here's a bright one. And then this dark one. I like this dark one. You see what it does here? See on the left-hand side, there's still light along the wall of the tunnel. And there's still light on the side, but you still have this kind of dark look. You can go to, there's also a film look, but I think that's a little bit too grainy. So I'm going to go back here to the dark. Now you can actually change this if you want to. So you can sit there and say, you know what, I want to make it even a little bit darker. So you can use the sliders if you want to adjust that a little bit. So I think it starts out, it's like at 20 already, and then you can kind of bring it down even a little bit more if you want to. And you can kind of bring the contrast up even a little bit more if you want to do that as well, just to kind of even enhance it a little bit further. So now we have this really cool photo, that we started out with, which was, a decent photo to begin with, right? I mean, it was pretty good. Now we've got this, and I just love the way this looks. It's got a mysterious look to it. There's a little bit of fog kind of feel to it. And essentially what we're looking at here is we're saying, oh my God, what is coming towards that camera? Rather than us the perspective we started out with was, oh, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now it's like, wow, what is coming towards us as we're looking down this tunnel? So there you go. I mean, that's how easy this can be. You know, experiment with different things. Try different things. What's great about the iPhone, great about, you know, mobile photography is you can always take your original photo, and all of these apps have the ability to save it as a copy. So you can always keep your original, and then you can go and, you know, you can keep the original if you want to, and then just mess around as much as you want with different apps to get a different look. Don't be discouraged by anybody who sits there and tells you that you can't improve a photo by adjusting it. You know, before that, if we look at what we had, this is what we had after we come out of lens distortions. We brought it into the Snapseed, and we go from that to this. And I just think this gives us a much better look. You see those streaks of light on the ceiling there of the tunnel? In the black and white image, it actually stands out a little bit more because we've put some more contrast in there to kind of clear through the fog a little bit. And now, again, what it does is all of that, the streaks on the roof of the tunnel, the lights on the roof of the tunnel, and the lines, the yellow, which are white lines now, on the street itself, and the guardrail all kind of draw our eyes directly to the center of that photo, which is where we see this thing, whatever it may be, a truck, a car, whatever, that is now coming towards us in this tunnel. So that's the kinds of things that you can do. And it's just a matter of, you know, be creative, go nuts. Look at what you like, go through it and say, I do like this, I don't like that, and then get it out there. Put it out on Instagram, you know, share it on Flickr, wherever you're going to share it on Facebook, Twitter. Get it out there on social media. People will want to see it. Some people may not like it. Who cares? I know there are photos that I see that I don't like and other people think are great. And I'm thinking, I think that's junk. But that's the whole point of art. Art is subjective. Do what you like to do for yourself. And don't worry so much about what other people think, because I tell you right now, once you find your own little style, you're going to find an audience that's going to appreciate it. And they're going to tell you how great they think the work is. So anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of Mobile Pixel. I'm Jay Caruso, helping you ignite your mobile creativity. See ya.